The Walt Disney Company is in the midst of a secret civil war. Wall Street fat cats want to make money off the mouse again, but one woman they put in charge of so much, she's barreling forward as fast as she can, straight back into politics and putting Disney and their shareholders, perhaps, at risk. It's a great day. It's a groovy day. Folks, thank you for coming our way. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to bring you the news, and shall we endeavor together to explain entertainment. As we do so, click that like button. Do you all remember when Jimmy Kimmel was suspended for making the joke about Charlie Kirk? It wasn't a very funny joke. In fact, it was very offensive. And in that situation, when Jimmy Kimmel was suspended, we all thought he was fired, but he was brought back, and Bob Iger and Dana Walden, remember the name Dana Walden, they were in charge of handling this. Of course, Bob Iger at the time was the CEO, and he's still around. He's still a consultant for Disney, but USA Today says, former Disney CEO reveals the real reason for Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. And essentially what Bob Iger is doing here is he is undercutting the current narrative that Jimmy Kimmel and Disney has used. What's he saying? Well, it says nearly a year, this by Edward Segarra, nearly a year after the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel sent shockwaves through late night TV, a former Disney executive is opening up about the scandal. A former Disney, it's the CEO of the last 3 decades. Good Lord. Bob Iger, who served as CEO during Kimmel's temporary ouster last September, reflected on the controversial move in an interview with the Financial Times. Disney-owned ABC announced it would indefinitely stop airing Kimmel's long-running talk show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, after the outspoken late-night host made remarks about the death of Charlie Kirk. The Turning Point USA founder was deleted during a speaking engagement. Okay, you all know that. And during the September 15th episode, Kimmel criticized supporters of Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to read it. It doesn't deserve it. But here's what we can do, okay? Brendan Carr, the leader of the FCC, came out, made a statement about this situation. But here is what Iger says now, a year later, almost. In his interview with the Financial Times, Iger pushed back against the notion that Kimmel's suspension was politically motivated. Quote, "That was not the case," he said, citing Kimmel's remarks on Kirk. "We thought it was in bad taste." He added, "We just wanted him to acknowledge that it was an ill-timed and probably inappropriate comment." Well, it wasn't probably, it definitely was. Now, what's important about this is that Bob Iger, remember who it was? Jimmy Kimmel had all those kind of things to say. He didn't say nice things about Bob Iger. He praised Dana Walden, who was part of the 50-50 on this, of dealing with the situation. Bob Iger is now coming out and saying it had nothing to do with Trump. It had nothing to do with politics. It had everything to do with just being completely indecent. Okay? Now, what has Kimmel said? And what did Disney say about all this? You know, what did their defenders say? Everybody has been weighing in saying, the orange man is out to get Disney. The orange man is trying to shut us down. And this is continuing. This has continued even after Iger has left. But why? Well, folks, let's play a little bit more of this. Newsweek now, we're moving up April 28th of this year. Disney stands ground as Trump administration pressures ABC over Kimmel remarks. Again, they're going back to the same defense of saying that the Trump administration is going after Kimmel. They're going after Disney, yada, yada, yada. Here's more of Jimmy Kimmel, because this has not stopped. And I'm about to tell you what's happening behind the scenes, because Wall Street has had enough of this, but one person is in the middle of it, and they can't get rid of her.
Sometimes you wake up in the morning and the First Lady puts out a statement demanding you be fired from your job. It was a pretend roast. I said, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at her, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow, which...
Ha, 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 ha. Let's joke about deletions of... You know what? Let's just go right now. Again, why are they doing this? Why is the Disney company continuing to do this? And I know some of this is old news, but I'm working towards where we are today, folks. Caroline Leavitt, spokesperson for the White House, this is her response to Jimmy Kimmel. As we play this, what you need to be thinking about, I hope, is the idea that Disney, they should be wanting to make money. The Wall Street execs, they want to make money, but one person continues to put Jimmy Kimmel and The View, and soon upcoming Rosie O'Donnell, and dare I say, is repoliticizing the studios. One person at Disney is doing this and building an entire team underneath her to make it so.
Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband?
Yet, what did Jimmy Kimmel say? What did Jimmy Kimmel say about how Disney handled it this time, right? Just about a month ago, he said they told him to move on. Now, who told him just move on? Who told him just to move on and not apologize or anything? Who told him just to move on because there's not going to be any kind of repercussion for you? Folks, I'll tell you, it's got to be Dana. It's just got to be Dana. It's a tiny bit of speculation there, but it's got to be Dana. M.A. Rothman has this, Bill O'Reilly on the Kimmel expected widow bet, and I'm working my way to the present tense. Hang tight. This is what Bill O'Reilly was saying about the Jimmy Kimmel situation, which, remember, it's getting worse because Jimmy Kimmel is stepping away this summer, and what is Disney doing? They're bringing in Rosie O'Donnell to replace him. Here's what Bill O'Reilly had to say about where Disney was with Jimmy Kimmel. Hang tight. I'm going to tell you about the Civil War. Here we go.
Another controversy is emerging today. Jimmy Kimmel is in the middle of this. So on Thursday, April 23rd, Kimmel said this. Go.
And of course,
we've already seen it. We won't play it again. Let's move forward to O'Reilly's analysis.
All right, so the widow line is going to haunt Kimmel. Disney's got to get rid of him. Got to. So Melania Trump, very rare, issued a response today saying, quote, Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family is a comedy. His words are corrosive, deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep covering for him. Enough's enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community?
All right, pause there. Now, every time it says ABC, you just insert Disney because that's, well, Disney runs it. But in fact, Kimmel was not fired. Kimmel was not let go, and they continue to go even deeper and deeper. You all have seen now, The View has Disney actually fighting with the FCC. Like, how can that be in the interest of the shareholders whatsoever? And you've got the Proud Family coming back, the TV show, the cartoon show that got Disney into such hot water with Reimagine Tomorrow. It's coming back louder and prouder, even more, right? Who is behind this? And by the way, we're hearing from sources that the studios at Disney are being repoliticized. Who is behind this? Well, I want to show you this. Jeremy Kay, writing back in March, Dana Walden unveils expanded Disney entertainment leadership team. You see, Dana Walden is best friends with Kamala Harris. And Dana Walden was put in charge of everything creative at Disney. So although Josh D'Amaro became the CEO after Bob Iger left, Dana Walden is in charge of all of the TV, all of the movies, all of the streaming. She's in charge of all of it. And she is putting together a team that is doing this. And I'm going to tell you from a source that we have had, the source says, quote, they don't know how to handle someone like Dana. They don't know what to do with someone who's not interested in profits over politics. Now, here's the article. It says, Dana Walden, the senior Disney executive who becomes president and chief creative officer of the Walt Disney Company on Wednesday, this is back in March, has unveiled the leadership structure at Disney Entertainment, combining streaming, film, television, games, and digital entertainment. And it goes on to list all the people that she's got underneath her and that she's building up and that she's doing all this. I'm telling you right now, folks, what we're hearing is there are now two Disneys. There's the Disney that is run essentially by Josh D'Amaro, and there's the Disney that is run by Dana Walden. The civil war that is happening, according to our sources, is that Wall Street wants to make money. And Dana wants to be political. She wants to fight the FCC. She wants to defend Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel can say anything he wants or does. Bring on Rosie O'Donnell. The View goes crazy. That's okay. You want louder and prouder? Let's do that again. Everything woke and political is being re-green-lit by Dana Walden. Now, if we go to Variety, what is Bob Iger's play here? What's he up to? Salome Hailou writes, ex-Disney CEO Bob Iger stands by Jimmy Kimmel's suspension and denies it was politically motivated. Okay, we're back to the modern day. Why is Bob Iger suddenly coming out and making this claim? Why is he cutting the narrative? Because this is a warning shot to Dana. This is a warning shot. Wall Street has told Bob, fire the thing. He's still a consultant with Disney. Josh tomorrow needs help here because Dana is doing things that are driving the Wall Street executives crazy. They don't want to fight the Trump administration. They don't want to be political. They want their stock to finally rise for the first time in like 15 years. And so they've sent Bob Iger out to say, no, this Kimmel story that the orange man was after him and that forced our hands, that's wrong. We did it. But remember, who did Kimmel love? Dana. Even Bob Iger, who has thought about making political runs for office with the Democrat Party, even Bob Iger is more moderate than Dana Walden and recognizes what is happening, I believe. Folks, we're going to be covering this. We're going to be following this, but there is, in fact, conflict behind the scenes at the Disney company. We're hearing about it. A lot of the stuff we can't tell you about, but I wanted you to walk through this. The fact that Jimmy Kimmel did what he did, it's gotten worse, not better. And what is happening right now is that there is a protection, and it is not in the interest of the shareholders. It's not in the interest of the stock. It's not in the interest of revenues. It's putting them at odds with the U.S. government. But somebody, perhaps, almost certainly Dana, is in charge of making sure that Disney stays political right now. And I would dare say, even in conflict with the CEO, Josh D'Amaro, who might not know what to do about this one. All right, folks, that's the video for this afternoon. We'll be back to Supergirl and all kinds of crazy stuff. Hang with us. We've got more content on the way. Folks, smash that like button, subscribe, share this out, comment down below. And when you know it, I'm going to say the line we say every time right here on the Pro Channel. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.